Okay, so in regards to Andrew Tate and his recent arrest in Miami, I believe he's going to be extradited to England on further sexual assault charges, because England don't like the fact that this guy beat them. He beat them, He did go through the whole, let's try and ruin his character. That didn't really work. And then let's put him in jail. That didn't really work. And then we all know what the third attempt is. We don't believe that's happened yet, but God forbid, let's hope it doesn't happen. In regards to him being extradited, and now they're claiming that he's basically going to be facing trial. I believe at one point he said that Trump is cool with him and wouldn't, extradite him. And looks like Trump ain't cool with him no more. First off, what on earth is he wearing? Right, not to go off topic, right? I just want to say this, right? I've noticed that really, really rich men, like extremely rich men, like I'll go as close as people that I know, footballers, right? The footballers that I grew up with, they had horrendous dress sense. Like they couldn't dress. And I think a lot of the reason why they couldn't dress is because, take me for example, I was just a normal lad growing up. I had generic money, student, whatever. I had to compete with everybody else because I was just a normal guy. So when I wanted to get girls or impress girls, I really had to concentrate on, being in the gym, getting my body, waist right, then making sure I go and get the right clothes, what looks trendy, what hangs on me very well. I had to make sure I got the haircut, all of these things. I had to focus on my look. And then once I got the look down, once a girl noticed me, I then gave, my delivery and when it comes to the verbals, and hopefully I strike gold. But when it comes to footballers, I knew footballers that were young, who were all 18, 19, some of them 20. And at the time, as a 19-year-old, being on $5,000 a week, crazy money. But because of the fame and who they are, women just flocked to them by default. So they never really had to impress because women were just automatically there. Where are we going? Ready to take the clothes off, open their legs. Because the fame, the whole idea of gold digging, women potentially trying to get a baby from them. Because women were just at their doorstep and they didn't have to kind of work hard like I did. It was like, in their eyes, they never had to work for anything. So they never had to focus on the way they looked. And I think the same scenario has been happening with Andrew Tate because he's like ridiculously rich. He'll just wear what he thinks looks good. He's probably had so many women. He's probably got bored of women somewhat. I'm not trying to reference him as being gay. I know it's the immature view of him being gay and all that. He could be, but I'm not trying to do that right now. But because he doesn't have to work for a woman and he'll just click his fingers and a woman will come to him, I think that's why he wears all this weird stuff. He's just tapping into his own personal desire, This is what Andrew Tate wears when he doesn't have to basically work for a woman's affection. Because if he was a regular guy wearing all this, he'd be laughed and smeared at. I think he gets laughed and smeared at anyway, because people on the internet will look at this and go, what on earth is he wearing? And crack all types of jokes. But he's still going to get beautiful women because of who he is. If he was just a regular guy wearing all this stuff, girls would look at him as a weirdo. It's not in fashion. Wearing a V-neck t-shirt with pants and your calves with, I don't even know what the hell they are, some African scammer sliders. And it does look gay. It does. But for him to want to wear that just shows that he's at a point in his life where it's like, I don't have to impress anyone. So I'm just going to wear what I personally want. And I understand it because if I ever became a billionaire, I always wonder, what would I wear? Because this isn't something that I'm just saying to you guys now. I've always thought about it. I always used to look at my footballer friends and I think, these guys can't, and I never used to say it. I just used to like, you man ain't got no drip, but girls were just getting at them anyway. So they never really had to really get the drip. They just buy a load of designer and just put it together and it just wouldn't match. But who cares? They're rich. Women are coming their way. Me, I had to really make sure my shit was on key. But that's the thing about being a billionaire. They just tap into thinking, I don't need to impress anyone, so I'm just going to wear what I want. And unfortunately for Andrew Tate, it's like me, if I was a billionaire, you'd never catch me in shit like that. Never. But what I will say is regarding these allegations, I did a video on recently when it comes to Michael Ward, but I'm going to say something that I didn't say in that video. Here's how I see sexual assault in how I believe each person should be convicted on something along these lines. To me personally, you need either three things. A woman needs three things, okay? Or she just needs one of these three things. But if she's just been allegedly raped, what she needs to do, she needs to go to the police straight away, okay? And get a rape kit done ASAP, okay? I don't care if she was in a relationship with him. I don't care if they're married. If you believe you've been raped, you need to go get a rape kit done and go to the police straight away so it's documented that at the time you were trying to do something about it. The second thing that I need, but the chances of it being there is probably unlikely, but it would give me some form of, confirmation that something happened here, is some form of video footage, whether it's CCTV or on your phone, have something like that. And the third thing is audio. We all know what happened with Mason Greenwood, the former Manchester United player.
Harriet, you need to move your legs up. Move your fucking legs up!
No, I don't want to have that.
I don't give a fuck what you want, you shit.
Maybe.
Shut up talking to me. Stop.
Get
I'm gonna
me.
you twat.
I want to
I
have
don't
sex with
care.
you.
You want fucking sex with me. Damn me.
Why do I have to do this though?
Because I asked you politely and you wouldn't do it.
I have to be fucked by other people.
I asked you politely and you wouldn't do it, so what else would you want me to do?
So we're going to fuck someone else.
I don't want to.
You do.
No, I don't. Push me again one more time and watch what happens to you.
No.
Well, you will actually, because you have to watch what happens.
Mason.
Get the
Yeah, there was audio. That's how we knew he did what he did, because of the audio. Now, he didn't get convicted because his wife at the time dropped the charges, whatever. She claimed, I believe they said they claimed it was some form of role play. I don't know if that's true or not, but one thing I will say, women have asked me to do role play and I've declined every time. I just automatically think it's a setup. But I need one of those three things: a rape kit done, / going to the police, video footage, and audio footage. You don't need all three, but you need at least one of those for me to take it seriously. The reason being is because when you've got scenarios like this where women are just coming for Andrew and it's like women from 15 years ago, there's no DNA evidence, there's no audio, there's no video footage of him doing something to these girls. The video footage that they've shown so far, the woman has come out and said, I wanted him to do those things to me. Okay, the one woman that they tried to show when he was like doing a role play with her, somewhat like consensually abusing her. When it comes to audio, he himself has sat there and spoke about these things regarding, I believe what a lot of people call it, they call it a honey trap? No, they called it the lover boy method. He said things that have compromised him, and he spoke about it with Piers Morgan. He got on Piers Morgan and said, he said certain things that he regrets saying. But nevertheless, when it comes to this direct allegations of sexual assault on these women, there's not actually any evidence, especially in scenarios that are 15 years ago. So my situation is, I'm not actually defending Andrew Tate, but I am defending how we morally should approach sexual assault allegations. I'm a firm believer in that we need to start recording footage. We need to start making that normal in society. And no, I don't mean to record it so I can sit there with all these footage of different women on my phone and be showing my mates. I just mean if women have the power to now just say you raped them, because look at me, I'm speaking about something which a lot of men are scared to speak about, because think about it, a woman could literally say it about myself. I've slept with numerous women. I've had one night stands. I've been able to get out of it with no diseases, nothing. I'm a clean individual. But nevertheless, any of these women could just turn around and go, 10 years ago, he did this to me. I'm not anybody. I'm not a celebrity, so there's no need to do that to me. Neither am I really a public figure. I'm just a person on YouTube. But at this moment in time, women have a certain power that I don't believe women should have. I do believe women should speak out. If something's genuinely happened to them, we should always look into it. But the ability to just say a guy did this and then his name gets smeared before there's even a trial set and it's been proven. Look at the situation to Michael Ward. I think that should be illegal. I think Michael Ward's name should be kept secret, especially if they're celebrities, until the verdict comes through. And even then, if the verdict came through like Michael Ward's did, I still think his name should be kept secret. And any woman that outright puts a man's name on social media saying he did this, that should be a charge. There should be some form of charge given to that if you do that, because I've seen that. Some random girl did it about some random black guy. And I don't know him, but if I see him now, I'm going to be thinking that was the guy that had an assault allegation against him, which isn't fair because she could be lying. But nevertheless, he's tainted now. So I do believe that we need to make it illegal for women to just go out and just say this guy did this. I believe the one power that they have is if it happened, go to the authorities, and it's between you and the authorities. It shouldn't be allowed for a woman to just turn around on social media and say this man did this, because if it turns out he didn't do this, he's still tarnished. Michael Ward is the best example of that. What happened between him turned out to be consensual. What allegedly heard, she was deleting messages and was embarrassed that her boyfriend was going to find out. You've just ruined this man's career. career, because his career's ruined. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, he can get back. He'll probably be put in a B movie now, just out of like a consolation, but he's still tainted. So when it comes to these things against Andrew Tate, I know why they want to get Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate pissed them off by basically putting Rumble on the scene. Okay, Rumble's been here way before 2022, but in 2022, when Andrew Tate got banned off everything, I've said this in previous videos, he basically said, I've been banned off YouTube, I've been banned off here, there, come to Rumble. Rumble is where I'll be. Rumble appreciates me. So Rumble is now a candidate in the social media space that is not run by a conglomerate that's linked to Facebook or YouTube. You can go there and see whatever you want, as long as it's nothing illegal, like advocating, doing something with a child illegally, or, you know, doing something like advocating for murder, terrorism, or, you know, sexually assaulting a woman. As long as it's not something illegal, you've got a view on somebody, you can say it over there. The only problem that they've got on that platform is the whole front page is too political. As soon as you click on it, it's Donald Trump. Donald Trump just took a shit. Sources say it smelled like onions. His shit had corn in it. Like, they constantly just ramble on about political stuff, when really what Rumble needs to do is start getting like quality of life topics on the main page to really make it excel. But it's still there. It's still making its way slow but surely. You know, it's a competitor. I think that's one of the things that pissed off the government, you know. And then not only that, he's on X and he's able to say whatever he wants, but they really want him. They don't like the fact that he, you know, he was the most Googled man on Google. And he really did upset them when he didn't take their offers, because I don't care who you are. If you are a billionaire, that's not a small feat. To become a billionaire, you can't just be a billionaire and nobody knows who you are. There's a reason why it's called the Billionaire Boys Club for a reason, because if you ever become a billionaire, some form of higher entity needs to know who you are as to why you became a billionaire and what are you going to do with that billionaire money. Because as a billionaire, you don't just have the ability to change people's lives. You have the ability to change politics. Any billionaire has the ability to change politics, and they don't like that. So if you become a billionaire, some entity, I'm not trying to be like some conspiracy theorist, this is a known thing, an entity is going to approach you to say, now that you're a billionaire, what are you going to do with your billionaire fortune? Are you going to just live happy, or are you going to try and do anything that could disrupt what we've got going on over here? Because we're letting you know now, if you try that, you're going to become a millionaire real quick. Yeah, we're going to knock you down rankings like that. And that's how these things work. So him basically becoming super rich and not playing ball is why they've now, you know, taken him. I doubt they're going to be able to. But maybe the trick is to keep him on remand for so long, you know, make him feel, keep him on remand for so long that he just whittles away into basically kill off any fan base that he's still got left. Because I'll be honest with you, his fan base is taking a huge dip. It's a selection of things. You've got the fact that he got beat by that reality TV show guy with the pink boxing gloves. That didn't make him look good in front of these kids. Like, his fan base is predominantly white males, and they didn't like that, you know, because their superhero has now been beat. The guy that was always boxing, showing how great he is, got whooped. All of a sudden, you don't see him box anymore. Have you noticed that? You don't see any boxing clips of him anymore. It's really, if you can tell, it doesn't matter how much money you have, we're still human beings. Andrew was affected by that loss, okay? The second thing is, when it comes to his following, at the time when he first came out, you know, was it 2021, 2022 when he boomed, a lot of those 15-year-olds are like 19, 20 now. Some are going into like probably 21, you know, like they've grown up. They've realized that now that they're starting to date, they've hit puberty and they're now dating. Once they mention the word Andrew Tate in front of a woman, it's turning her off. So they've realized, okay, you know, when I was sat in my room as a little kid who had to be told if I was allowed to play out or not, you know, when I had a curfew and whatnot, it was fun listening to Andrew Tate late at night with all my friends and going to school talking about, guess what Andrew Tate said. But now that I'm older, and the women that I used to ignore because girls were icky at the time, now that I want to get with girls are like, what, you listen to him? Nah, go. He's no longer the cool, suave thing, but he was never cool. He was just popular. And a lot of these Gen Z kids have moved on, you know? So they've moved on due to age and maturity. Plus, when the fight happened, just said to them, nah, we're good. We're not really feeling this. Plus, again, he dresses like a pansy. You know, that is shocking. shocking. That is shocking. But when it comes to these allegations, if you've not got those three things, I'm sorry, I can't be on the crowd of he did this, he did that. Because if you don't have those three things, that means any woman can say anything about any man, drag him through the court system, have him on remand, have a pending case over your head. This is the things that are brought to you. And this whole rubbish that people have heard, control your lust, that's impossible. Can't control your lust. All you've got to do is control what the law tells you to control. Everything else, do you, but just stick to the law. Your lust is your lust. You want to approach a woman, you want to flirt with a woman, you go and do that, okay? Just don't touch the woman inappropriately or do something she didn't ask you to do. But this control your lust bullshit, we're human beings. You find something attractive, you're going to want to know. You're going to want to know what she's about, and if you could potentially take her clothes off, all right? Just stick to the law. Forget these idiots that are saying control your lust. It's a stupid generic term for internet purposes to sound like you've got some form of intellect, that you're bringing something to the table, but you're not. You're just saying some genetic platitude that doesn't actually mean anything. You're talking for the sake of talking, all right? But I'll leave it at that. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think.